Everything went wrong today, didn't it? You woke up off. Nothing worked. People irritated you. You made mistakes you shouldn't have made. And now you're sitting there, drained, frustrated, overthinking everything. Let me tell you something you won't like. This isn't about a bad day. This is about how you handle pressure. Stay, because if you understand this, you'll stop letting one day control your entire life. A bad day feels bigger than it actually is, because your mind doesn't process events individually. It stacks them. One thing goes wrong, and suddenly your brain connects it to everything. Of course this happened. Nothing ever goes right. This is just my luck. Now you're not reacting to one situation. You're reacting to an identity you created in your head. That's why it feels heavy. Not because the day is powerful, but because your interpretation is. And once that narrative starts, everything you see confirms it. You think you're reacting to reality. You're not. You're reacting to loss of control. That's what hurts. You planned your day, expected things to go a certain way, but life didn't follow your script. So now your brain goes into resistance. This shouldn't be happening. And that resistance is what creates frustration, not the event, the fact that you couldn't control it. Jason sat in his car, engine off, didn't even feel like going inside. The day replayed in his head. That moment at work, that mistake, that look people gave him. He kept thinking, I should have handled that better. Then another thought, why does this always happen to me? That's when the shift happens. Not outside, inside, because now it's no longer about the mistake. It's about how he sees himself. And that's what starts breaking people. You don't break because of bad days. You break because you don't reset. You let it sit. You replay it. You feed it. You give it power it doesn't deserve. And slowly, one bad day becomes your mindset. Then your mindset becomes your behavior. Then your behavior becomes your life. All from one day you didn't control. Let's slow this down. Watch what your mind does. A mistake happens. Your brain reacts emotionally. Then it starts searching for patterns. See? This always happens. Now it's building a case against you. Then comes comparison. Others don't deal with this. Now you feel behind. Then comes shutdown. What's the point? That's the full spiral. And most people never break out of it. You don't need motivation. You need interruption. When your mind starts telling stories, cut it, not gently. Immediately, say, stop. Then replace it with something neutral. It happened. That's it. No emotion, no story, no identity attached. Because the moment you remove the story, you remove the weight. Right now, you feel out of control, so you try to fix everything. That's the mistake. You don't need to control everything. You need to control something. One action, something simple, something small. Because control is not about size. It's about presence. When you complete one task, your brain shifts from chaos to structure, and that shift is everything. Your mind is stuck because your body is still. Energy is trapped. You're sitting in the same place, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions. Break that. Move. Not because it fixes the problem, but because it resets your system. Movement interrupts thought patterns. It changes your breathing, your focus, your state, and that creates space. Jason didn't have a breakthrough. He just moved. walked without purpose. No phone, no music, just silence. At first, nothing changed. Same thoughts, same frustration. But after a while, they slowed down. Not gone, just quieter. That's all he needed. Not solutions. Space. Because your brain is overloaded. Too many inputs. Too many emotions. Too many thoughts fighting each other. You don't fix that with more thinking. You fix it with less. Less noise. Less reaction. Less pressure. And that's when clarity returns. This day is not your identity. It's an event, but you're treating it like a definition. You're saying, this is who I am, instead of, this is what happened. Detach. Because when you separate yourself from the day, you regain power over it. You're not someone who gets destroyed by bad days. You're someone who learns from them. That's the identity shift. Not emotional, not dramatic, just clear. I handle pressure. Say it, even if you don't believe it yet, because identity drives behavior. If you don't reset, this doesn't end here. It follows you into tomorrow, into your work, into your mindset. Now you're not starting fresh. You're carrying weight. That's how people stay stuck. Not because life is hard, because they don't reset. Bad day? Good. Now you see where you break. Now you see where you lose control. Now you see what needs to change. Because easy days don't teach you anything. This does. So don't waste it. Use it, like this video if this hit you. Comment, reset, and subscribe. Because here, we don't avoid bad days. We master them.